Today we're taking a look at Destiny reacting to Asmongold defending Trump's plan to invade Venezuela and take Greenland. These are the same conservatives who spent years screaming Iraq was bad and we need to stop invading countries.
Even Asmongold's own fans are calling him out for just repeating whatever Twitter feeds him.
Should there be an election?
If you give me the floor for 30 seconds, let me tell you what we are doing here, Jake. The United States, this is sort of foundational. The United States is using its military to secure our interests unapologetically.
So, Jake Tapper, hello. I don't know if you're on the same cat supply as Elon Musk, but when Bald Hitler over here is saying, can you give me the floor for 30 seconds? What he's saying is, can you bend over and let him you with Trump propaganda on your network for free without any pushback? I don't know why the you would say yes to that. Now, if you're getting a fat paycheck, then I get it. If you're being paid by the campaign, but otherwise, why the would you ever say yes to that? Grow a fucking spine. Or if you really want to, right, pretend that it's Biden. Pretend that Stephen Miller is Biden so you can channel all of your hatred and journalistic integrity and go after him as hard as you can. I don't know why you would just shut up there, but that's okay. You know, whatever. Just my personal take. My bad.
In our hemisphere. We're a superpower, and under President Trump, we are going to conduct ourselves as a superpower. It is absurd that we would allow a nation in our own backyard to become the supplier of resources to our adversaries, but not to us, to hoard weapons from our adversaries, to be able to be positioned as an asset against the United States rather than on behalf of the United States.
Sovereign countries should be able to do what they want to do.
No. Nope. Not if it's causing us problems.
The Monroe Doctrine and the Trump Doctrine.
That's he has Asmongold. I guess it is all projection. I feel like I've said this so many times. It's all projection. Is Asmongold thinks that the United States should conduct itself in a way that he thought the Palestinians were conducting themselves that would have allowed for an infinite genocide against Palestinians or Arabs or Muslims. It's just funny to see. This is like it's like great power politics, but they're all losers. It's so crazy that like the people who follow these people just don't see that these guys are the losers of the world. Like Kim is a loser. Kim Jong-un or Kim Jong-il or whatever the fuck. These people are losers. Nobody respects these people. Putin is a loser. Like the people that play politics like this are losers. Like the most powerful countries in the world are not the ones that conducted themselves like this. Remember, all these fascist regimes that set themselves up to these military strongholds collapsed in less than a generation. They failed miserably. Like it was all the hand-holding cuckoldry of being friendly to everybody or trying to be as much as possible, more than regimes in the past or more than empires in the past have been, that ended up leading to the longest and most prosperous and relatively most peaceful time in human history.
The Monroe Doctrine and the Trump Doctrine. The Trump Doctrine says they're not able to do what they want. I made up a rule that says that I can do whatever I want.
This is what drives me crazy about news shows today. Jake Tapper lets Stephen Miller talk about using our military to take whatever we want, and Jake doesn't push back at all. If Biden said we're going to invade countries to take their stuff, conservatives would flip out. But when Trump's guys say it, reporters act like it's normal. Asmongold did the same thing with Israel and Palestine. He said Israel could do whatever they wanted because of safety threats. Now he's saying America should do the same thing to Venezuela. Either everyone can do it or nobody can.
Is all about securing the national interests of America. For years, we sent our soldiers to die in deserts in the Middle East to try to build them parliaments, to try to build them democracies, to try to give them more oil, to try to give them more resources. The future of the free world, Jake, depends on America being able to assert ourselves and our interests without apology. This whole period that happened after World War II, where the West...
It's also so annoying, too. I remember debating this 10 years ago when Islamic extremism was more of a deal in the West. And I would always argue with conservatives. I'd be like, I don't know why you guys hate Muslims so much. Like, they're all on that Sharia shit. Like, you guys kind of want the same shit. They just happen to be of a different flavor of religion. And like a year or two ago, that actually started to spark up a little bit when you had all of these weird red pillars being like, actually, Christianity is kind of like weak and gay, and Islam is kind of like based and strong-pilled. And yeah, you have Asmongold acting, you know, like this 70 IQ Somali warlord while simultaneously screeching about American values and how we need to deport all of these inferior genetic people back to their homelands or whatever. But like you would fit in right over there. Like this is you're embodying the stereotypically horrible ideologies that you think all of these people have. Like that's what you're embodying right now. You just happen to be lucky enough that your genetically inferior, weak body exists in an empire that can protect opinions like yours, because people like you would just be passed around in soldiers in any country that lived by the actual values that you're professing that you would wish they'd believe in. It's insane to me.
To begin apologizing and groveling and...
I love this guy because this guy is as mad about it as I am. Because the same thing. I felt the same way. Yeah, exactly.
I felt the same way about what?
Every dictator who tried to rule by military power fell apart fast. Hitler's Germany lasted 12 years before getting wiped out. Japan tried to take over Asia and got destroyed. The Soviet Union collapsed after 69 years. But the system we built after World War II, where countries work together and follow rules, gave us the longest peace between big countries ever. That's real strength. And now Miller says the problem with Iraq wasn't the fake reasons we invaded, but that we tried to help Iraqis instead of just taking their oil. Conservatives wanted that war and said Saddam had superweapons. None of that was true, and thousands of Americans died.
Like, what problems do you have that you need oil from Venezuela? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? What's wrong? Why are you even upset about that? I know why you're upset about this. And the reason why he's upset about it is because he's a weak man that Elon Musk can put stuff in front of and then make him feel mad about it. Like, you're a tool. You're a child that's being led around by your algorithm on X. I think somebody linked a post earlier. This is on Asmongold's subreddit. 274. I don't know if this is the most upvoted comment or not, but I feel like the quality of his arguments has been going down a lot lately. He seems to completely rely on what his Twitter For You tab shows him. Also, anytime something that might be a bit against his talking points appears, he goes on rants like, you can cry, moan, complain as much as you want. It is what it is. Or, data is fake, unless the data reinforces his opinions. In the past, he used to have a lot more nuances with his arguments and more open-minded to be wrong, but lately, it turned into just rage-bait slop/clip farming. He'll probably use his Twitch/YouTube numbers as arguments if he ever reads this post, but I prefer quality over quantity, and these days the quality seems to be going down a lot. Just my feedback. Hope he doesn't take offense to this. True. And he did do that, right? Well, look at my numbers. Look how many views I get. It's like, okay. Look at my comment sections. Like, imagine letting somebody just show you, like, the news all day and getting you madder and madder and madder. Like, that's what you do when you go on X. It's so crazy to me.
I felt the same way. Yeah, exactly.
I don't even know, honestly, what you're talking about right now.
I don't know what you're talking about.
And also, you didn't feel that same way. Like, 6 months ago, you were mad at Venezuela? You didn't feel... You probably don't even know where you probably still don't even know where Venezuela is on the map. Why the f*** do you care so much about this? You don't. You never have. Somebody just told you to.
I used to argue with conservatives about Islam and point out they basically want the same thing Muslims want, just with Christianity instead. Now we're watching that happen for real. These guys love strong leaders and military power and having religion control the government. Asmongold talks like a warlord about taking over countries by force while saying we need to kick out immigrants. But you're acting exactly like the people you say you hate. And the only reason you can say this is because you live in America where we protect free speech. In the world you're talking about, where the strong just take what they want, you'd be one of the first to get hurt.
And like a person with no mind of their own, you followed it like a sheep.
The same thing. I felt the same way. Yeah, exactly.
I don't even know, honestly, what you're talking about right now.
I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, you do.
What I'm talking about, Jake, is the idea. And by the way, you do. I know you love doing that smarmy thing, Jake, and I was hoping
Attacking the media.
Smarmy? This guy, Stephen Miller, is the most smarmy. Also, yeah, attacking the media is so based. It's literally for the Trump admin. It's so crazy how these guys, like, in 2 seconds turned into every single thing they accused liberals and progressives of being forever, right? And all of their values instantly collapsed. These were supposed to be the types of people that the Second Amendment guys fantasized about. Oh my God, a strong federal government that wants to have authoritarian rule and attack our First Amendment rights and everything else. That's what I have my guns for. And now it's like, oh no, please send the National Guard to police my neighborhood. I'll clap and cheer and I'll swallow all their walking around. It's like, come on, what the f, bro?
I love it. We gotta have more of this.
Better than this time.
I asked you about if there should be an election.
Exactly.
I asked you if there would be an election in Venezuela. That's what I asked.
Who the fuck knows? It's been 2 days.
Why was the president so quick to dismiss?
Who the fuck knows? It's been 2 days. Don't you think that's maybe a plan that you should have worked on in advance? Maybe?
Machado, you answered that question. And then I said,
the objective, Jake, is security and stability for the people of Venezuela. With our help and leadership, that country will become more prosperous than it has ever been in its whole history. Venezuelans.
The woman running Venezuela right now is part of the Maduro regime.
There will be conversations, Jake, about all of these guideposts along the way. The reason why I was giving you that speech, which I know you didn't want to hear, is because you're approaching this from the wrong frame. This neoliberal frame that the United States' job is to go.
I feel very good because I remember he said something, and I said that he was approaching something from the wrong frame. And now he's saying that this guy's approaching it from the wrong frame on CNN.
You don't even know what neoliberal means. You don't even know what Stephen Miller is talking about. Like, you're so stupid. Stephen Miller is like, this is like your Hitler character. He does propaganda well. He knows how to speak stupidly, but he's driven by a strong ideology. Stephen Miller is ideologically possessed, like Bannon is.
6 months ago, nobody cared about Venezuela. Then Elon Musk bought Twitter and changed what posts you see, and suddenly everyone's mad about Venezuela. The algorithm is the computer program that picks what shows up on your feed. His own fans say he just repeats whatever Twitter shows him. That's not thinking for yourself. Elon is telling you what to think, and you don't even know it. Trump says something crazy, the algorithm shows it to millions, they see posts saying it's cool, then they believe it too. It's making fake agreement by only showing one side, and people don't realize it's happening.
Trump is just an empty vessel that's filled with all the political will of people around him. It's just crazy to me how weak and empty Trump is, and anybody that's in his orbit can instantly fill him and then possess him for a little bit with whatever ideas they have. And then similarly, empty-headed dipshits like Asmongold will sit here and osmosis up whatever's being said. Jesus.
It's spreading. I don't think it's because of me or anything, but it's good to see more people not even accepting, and this is a very important thing to do. You do not even accept the frame in which the argument exists in.
I don't even know if you know what framing he was talking about there.
Because if you do that, the argument is set up for you to lose.
Okay.
Never even do that.
True.
Around the world and demanding immediate elections be held everywhere, immediately, all the time, right away.
No,
vacuums.
that's not what I think, but you invaded the country. We went into the country and we seized the leader of Venezuela.
Damn straight we did.
And I'm...
What? Oh my God. Is that you? It's as close as I'm gonna get. Okay. Man. This is amazing. I've been waiting on this for a while.
Not what I think, but you invaded the country.
Like, this is like epic if you're like 14, I think is like, I get it, right? If you're like a kid, you're like, oh shit, bro, epic. But like, come on. Seriously?
We went into the country and we seized the leader of Venezuela.
Damn straight we did.
And I'm saying,
we're not gonna let,
so is the U.S. going to have new elections?
Is that we're not going to let Tim Pot communist dictators send rapists into our country, send drugs into our country.
How many people and drugs were coming from fucking Venezuela? What?
Send weapons into our country.
Okay.
And we're not going to let a country fall into the hands of our
I bet, without looking it up, I bet there were more fucking refugees and shit that were bothering all the surrounding South African countries, way more than anybody in the fucking United States. But Jesus.
adversaries. The future of Venezuela working with America is going to be so bright and so incredible and so positive, and we'll have a conversation about everything that you raise. But the priority right now, as the president has made clear, is a judicious, thoughtful, careful transition process to secure a...
You couldn't even name the transition process, though.
But the priority right now, as the president has made clear, is a judicious, thoughtful, careful transition process to secure a great future for Venezuela and to secure a great future for America. Wow. Let's just take a moment and just acknowledge, Jake, that what we've witnessed under President Trump's leadership this last week is one of the greatest foreign policy and military victories this country has ever had.
I mean, they just went in there and they got his ass, man. Oh, my God. And this is insane. The reporter's losing his shit. Yeah, I mean, the thing is that
he's not. And look at the. You should also know this, Jake. Okay, that when you do this song and dance to be the impartial person, this is what the most popular political streamer says about you. You don't get any fucking credit for this. So I don't even know who you're dancing for right now. Right? He just said you're losing your shit. Jake Tapper's not even fucking saying anything. What do you mean he's losing his shit? Asmon's brain has been so programmed by all of the Elon slop being fed to him every day. It's unbelievable to me.
And this is insane. The reporter's losing his shit. Yeah, I mean, the thing is that you shouldn't even treat these people seriously at all. They're just a bunch of fucking losers anyway. And they don't care at all about...
I can't... Like, how do you take yourself...
Shouldn't even treat these people seriously.
Like, just scrolling scrolling the Twitter feeds, and that's it. That's everything. Damn, this guy puts Hassan's research to shame. X. Oh my God. I don't even know if Hassan did half the Twitter threads as this guy. Jesus.
Seriously at all. They're just a bunch of fucking losers anyway. And they don't care at all about what's in the best interest of America. They're just advocating for stuff that's based off of their ideology. Fastest invasion ever? Yeah, it's already over.
The Monroe Doctrine is from 1823. It's not a real law countries follow today, just something we said a long time ago about Europe not taking over South America. If we can use old papers to justify invasions, then Russia can find papers for Ukraine, China for Taiwan, anyone can justify anything. When Miller says Venezuela isn't a real country if it causes us problems, he's saying countries don't have the right to exist on their own. If strong countries can ignore that, then China takes Taiwan, Russia takes more of Europe. Everything becomes a mess. The rules we made after World War II say you can't just invade other countries, because without those rules, millions of people die.
Like, he just says, like, nothing. He doesn't even care. He's just an alien. It's self-evident. It's obvious.
Let me go back a step. The president has been clear for months now. So I know you're treating this as breaking news. The president has been clear for months now that the United States should be the nation that has Greenland as part of our overall security apparatus.
Right, so we're just going to go get it. Okay.
Your wife posted that like hours after the Venezuela operation. That's why it's newly.
Like, if I was a terrorist and I was trying to radicalize people, this is what I would show them, dude. Bin Laden wished he had access to shit like this, because this is unironically like the Americans deserve 9/11 types of human beings, right? It's like, okay, well, come on. Bush might have said crazy things. Some guy might have said whatever. It's like, oh, no. Look and see what their most popular media figures say while their whole audience applauds and claps along. And he's like, yeah, we should go get Greenland. And it's like, damn, well... Okay, let's fucking suit up then, Jesus.
Relevant.
No, and I'll talk with you about it for an hour. I think it's a really important conversation. I just wanted to reset, Jake, by making clear that it has been the formal position of the U.S. government since the beginning of this administration, going back into the previous Trump administration, that Greenland should be part of the United States. The president has been very clear about that. That is the formal...
They just taken over, bro. Like, holy shit. This will break the Western alliance? You mean the alliance where we pay for all their shit and then they patronize us for not having free healthcare because we're defending them, we're paying all the NATO budget?
You think that's why we don't have free healthcare? Yeah, Donald Trump sure is fighting for that. Remember, by the way, the whole reason Trump was elected, their whole first mission was to repeal and replace the ACA, and it only failed because McCain, a man dying of brain cancer that Donald Trump had excoriated while he was running for the office, called him a loser for being a prisoner of war, an actual person who served in the military, right? Keep in mind that they ran on getting rid of the ACA and all the surrounding healthcare stuff, but okay, Asmon, shit.
Yeah, I don't think that we need to be worried. I think they do.
Position of the U.S. government.
Right, but can you say that military action against Greenland is off the table?
Well, manifest destiny. Yeah, by the end of Trump's third term, we're going to rename Earth to the United States of America.
Going to be military action against Greenland. The Greenland has a population of 30,000 people, Jake. The real question is, by what right does Denmark assert control over Greenland?
That's right, yeah.
I don't know, did you look it up? Did you see, was there a treaty made? Maybe there was a deal made between the United States of America and Denmark that authorized them to control Greenland? Maybe that was part of buying territory. Maybe that was part, like a literal actual, maybe? Did you even bother to look it up? Is he allowed to? Or if it doesn't get flashed in front of him on Elon's X page, he's not privy to the information? Maybe?
30,000 people, Jake. The real question is, by what right does Denmark assert control over Greenland?
That's right, yeah. Who says they have it? How is it that Denmark can have Greenland? You're right.
What is the basis of their territorial claim?
Yeah.
How is he right?
What is their basis of having Greenland as a colony of Denmark? The United States is the power of NATO.
Yep.
For the United States to secure...
The history? Okay.
Oh, and? What is that, another gay fact? Do you think I care?
Nobody has any plan after we invade. You think 28 million Venezuelans will just say, okay, you're in charge? You'll be fighting locals for decades. These are insurgents, people who fight back using sneak attacks and roadside bombs. It'll cost trillions, and thousands of American soldiers will die. We just watched this in Iraq and Afghanistan. Iraq turned into years of fighting that killed over 4,000 Americans, created ISIS, and cost $2 trillion. Afghanistan, we fought for 20 years, and the Taliban ended up back in charge anyway. And reporters need to ask tough questions instead of letting these guys give speeches.
Time for a new page. Yep, it was promised to them. Yep, new page, new chapter.
The Arctic region to protect and defend NATO and NATO interests. Obviously, Greenland should be part of the United States. And so that's a conversation that we're going to have as a country. That's a process we're going to have as a community of nations.
So you can't take it off the table that the U.S. would use military force to seize Greenland.
He's laughing.
I understand you're trying very hard to, which again is your job. I respect it. It's great to get exactly the headline, right? That catchy headline.
I'm trying to get an answer to the question.
That says Miller refuses to rule out.
He's actually completely bulldozering this guy. He's having such a bad time. He just like, this is your job. You have to interview this bald asshole who fucking hates you, and he's just going to yell at you until it's over. Basically, you're getting locked in to get yelled at by this bald asshole.
The United States should have Greenland as part of the United States. There's no need to even think or talk about this in the context that you're asking.
We don't even need to talk about this. It's obvious.
Of a military operation. Nobody's going to fight.
You're talking about World War III. World War II is the USA was the only coward. You really think that they're going to start World War III over Greenland? They're obviously not going to. The fact is that the US
over Poland, obviously not.
Could take could take Greenland from Denmark, and there's nothing they could do about it. They couldn't stop us. It would happen, and yeah, it might look bad. They'd be mad about it, but I'm sure they would make a tweet about it. They would make a tweet, and they would say, this isn't fair, this is a violation of the law, this is horrible, you shouldn't do this, and then we have it. That's it. Would you want this? No, I don't think we should take it. I don't think so. But we could. We absolutely could.
The United States militarily over the future of Greenland.
One last question.
It's pretty retarded to attack your allies. I mean, like, when was the last time Denmark helped us? It sure seems like this whole allyship with NATO and everything is pretty one-sided. Seems like the majority of the time it's like us going over there helping them. What are they helping us? In Iraq? Yeah, how'd that work out? Big fucking mistake there. And it's now a multipolar world order with the U.S. and China taking slices of the pie. People need to get it. Yeah, what do you think Trump would name Greenland to? What do you guys think Trump would rename Greenland to? What do you think? Yeah, I'm kind of curious. Trumpland. A lot of people are saying Trumpland. That's a good way to say it.
By the way, this is my line in the sand, okay? Ready? I am putting a bad one here. I will never vote for a Democrat again. And I don't care because I don't give a fuck. Voting sucks anyway. I don't want to go. I will never vote for another Democrat if we take back the White House, if every single building and every single monument and thing that Trump put his fucking name on, like the Kennedy Center is now the Kennedy Trump Center and some arts center is now the whatever and Trump Center. If every single one of those doesn't have Trump's name removed from it, I will never vote. I won't even fucking vote in any election in this country again. That shit needs to go. Fucking day one, that shit needs to go. But as soon as possible, that is beyond anything.
Yeah, I think you could be right. And if France colonized you instead of helping you, you don't attack an ally, that's all? I mean, again, I don't think they could, like, I'm not, the thing is, I'm not disagreeing with you. I don't think we need Greenland either. Unless they know something I don't know. I don't
like this type, also this tepid, like, well, I don't think it's good, and then laughing and giggling along as it happens is like such a gaslighty, retarded, and he knows what he's doing, and it's so stupid because you're giving yourself this plausible deniability thing. This is weird gaslighty behavior. You're giving yourself this plausible deniability, but it's not plausible to anybody. It's not retarded. This is like gesticle to your behavior, but then you're signaling to everybody else what's actually happening, right? Like you're watching one dude beat the shit out of another guy, and you're sitting there laughing along with it, oh, and somebody's like, damn, he's really beating him up pretty bad. It's like, do you think that's good? And you're like, I mean, he shouldn't. I mean, he shouldn't beat him up. Oh my God, he just fucking caved his fucking nose. I mean, he shouldn't do it. And it's like, everybody knows what you're doing here. And then later on, when somebody presses you about it, it's like, bro, why'd you just sit there and like fucking, you're basically supporting this dude beating him up. It's like, actually, let's consult the record on that, idiot. I actually said that I don't support him beating it up. It's like, okay, it's a good one.
I don't want to take Greenland. It's a waste of fucking time.
Asmongold says Denmark couldn't beat us in a fight. Like that's the point. Nobody thinks that. The point is attacking Denmark would destroy our whole alliance system. NATO is 30 countries that promise to help defend each other. That's called Article 5. If we attack Denmark, every country has to choose between helping Denmark like they promised or admitting the promise meant nothing. Once we show our promises are worthless, why would any country trust us? China would go after Taiwan. Russia would take what they want. Japan and South Korea would build their own nukes. We'd lose all our military bases in other countries, and everyone would start working with China instead.
It's going to cause a bunch of extra, it's going to cost political capital, it's going to put a strain on everything, and it is another foreign incursion while we're being scammed at home.
And I like how all of his reasons for it are just all the most selfish, retarded reasons to it. Nothing in here about, like, maybe it's good to maintain alliances. Maybe it's good not to backstab, some of the strongest alliances that have ever existed. Maybe it's good to, be a reliable country that other people can look to and understand where your actions are going to be in the future, and you don't seem schizo as fuck. But it's like, no, the Somalis at home are the ones we need to go to war with first.
Even agree with you. I don't even agree with this, but I'm saying that if we wanted to do it, we could do it. And there's nothing they could do about it. Now, you might not like the reality of that, but I think it's true. There's nothing that realistically they could do about it besides tweet. You think they're going to blow up one of our ships? Absolutely not, they wouldn't. They would never do that. And so basically, all they would do is tweet, complain, and that would be it. There would be a war? It would not be a war. Why would you think they're going to start? You think Denmark has a standing army that's going to be able to repel the American military? Fuck no. Of course that's not going to. Wait, what are you thinking? Really, what are you thinking that could even possibly happen? NATO does? NATO has it. Really? Go look up where the military comes from with NATO. Go look up where the funding comes from with NATO. It's just, we are NATO. What do you mean? And again, if it happens, listen, you guys can clip this. I think that there is a very good chance Trump's getting a lot of good vibes out of stealing Venezuela. He is. He's getting a lot of good vibes out of it. I think he may even get good vibes whenever he steals Colombia and Cuba too. And I think that if he gets all three of those, he's going to have to take Greenland. He wouldn't even want to, but he would have to. Because that's what people would want. I mean, shit. Like, I mean, because you're on a roll at that point, right? You're on a hot streak. Like, you're gonna stop now. Like, what's this? In the Trump world, exactly. The infinity zones. Yeah, I think. Don't forget Panama. Yeah, sure. You get that on the way out, definitely. And I'm
like, I don't ever want to hear the like. It's just all of it was such a lie. Like the no new wars and Iraq was horrible and we shouldn't be invading people and we want to be isolation. Like you can't even use the populist framing to attack them. Like, aren't you guys like hardcore isolationist populists? Like, this is bad for ABC, XYZ reasons. Like, there's no ideology that you can even attack them from. It's literally the ideology of based. It's like whatever is the funniest, most epic and based thing that you can put on social media. And then in a way it becomes kind of self-fulfilling because the algorithms are just feeding you whatever make you happy anyway. So Trump can do a thing and then the algorithm is going to push whatever is like the funniest thing about the thing. And so you'll always support the thing because the social media platform that's owned by Elon Musk, the African who deserves to be deported from this country more than any other African here, is telling you to feel that way. And then everything just becomes good and based and awesome and epic. Like Trump can do anything. The social media platform will push in front of you whatever you want to see about it. And then you'll end up supporting the thing. It's just this never ending treadmill of stupidity.
Asmongold talks about taking over countries like collecting stones in a Marvel movie. Venezuela, then Colombia, then Cuba, then Panama, then Greenland, like it's a hot streak. That's real war with real people dying. American soldiers would die. Tens of thousands of regular people would die. Whole cities blown up. Millions losing their homes. This happens when you're so much on the internet, you forget war hurts real people. Conservatives spent years saying no new wars, Iraq was bad, stay out of other countries. Now it's invade 5 countries and use our military however we want. The only thing that matters is Trump. Whatever he says is good. That's not beliefs, that's worshiping one guy.
On you guys, like y'all think it's not going to happen. All right. That's the way I see it. They cannot stop us, but NATO would not be happy. I don't think they'd be happy either. I think they'd be very upset about this. They'd be very, very upset that we did this. They would not be happy. You're right. I don't think they'd be happy. EU can retaliate hard. To what expense? To what expense? They're already being sieged by Russia with Ukraine, helping Ukraine. They're not going to be doing anything. They're not going to fight two. They're not going to fight 2 incursions, one against the Russia indirectly, and the other one against America. Do you really think they're going to do that? Absolutely not. It's not worth it to them. Anyway, let's go to the next one. I'm arguing for something that I don't even agree with. I think people are delusional in thinking that any of these countries can actually do something about it. Very delusional.
Who's even talking about here? Nobody is saying that. Who's saying, oh my God, Denmark is going to fight back against us militarily and defeat the United? No one is saying that. You're arguing against, he's like making straw men for things that nobody's even saying to attack positions that nobody even holds. To defend a position that he's saying that he doesn't even have. Like, it's so stupid.
It might turn Europe as an adversary in 10 to 15 years. Well, if it continues getting overrun by third worlders that want to take over the government and turn it into another, fundamentalist religious shithole, then yeah, you're right. Maybe the first country with nukes is going to be the UK. You're right.
That's true, at least. We wouldn't want to be in a country that's a religiously fundamentalist shithole. Wouldn't want any of this now. Wouldn't want to do any of this stuff. That would be cringe and embarrassing as fuck. Oh my goodness. Could you imagine living in a place like this? Oh, a third clip. Thank God. Another Twitter clip.
That occurs when a nation has been so thoroughly defeated in this way. The United States of America, think about this, Jake. The United States of America has encircled this nation for months. One of the largest naval armadas in history has been stationed off its coast. Fighter jets have been encircling the island. We've been engaging in kinetic lethal strikes against Maduro's drug boats and trained Arawago gang members leaving the island. We have launched a complete oil embargo of the ghost fleet, the dark ships.
The dark ships?
And now on top of that,
Stop! Jake, shut the fuck up. Let him continue his campaign speech, Jake. Jake almost interrupted him there, okay? Shut the fuck up, Jake. Let him go.
Of the ghost fleet, the dark ships.
The dark ships?
And now on top of that, right? Maduro is sitting in a jail cell in New York, as is his wife. So of course there's going to be, this is very important though, of course there's going to be some posturing. Okay. Without giving anything away, I want to be very clear. Very clear. The government has set...
Imagine being this guy.
True.
You don't get to talk.
True, but for the exact opposite reason why Asmongold thinks it's true.
You don't get to ask any questions. He doesn't give a fuck about you.
Messages. This is such an important point, Jake. To the Secretary of State, to our senior...
They'll say this shit, and then the next breath they'll say that like the media is still liberally biased. I wonder if Asmongold still believes that the media has a liberal bias. This is on the Commie News Network, by the way, CNN, the worst of the worst. That that fucking bald Hitler over here just gets to do infinite PR for the Trump administration.
U.S. government official negotiators. They have sent message after message making clear that they will meet the terms, demands, conditions, and requirements of the United States.
Okay.
And I want to be very clear about that.
So they're out there on social media and to their own people talking about how they're going to fight back and they're not going to let this happen. But then privately, they're complying and agreeing with every single thing that Trump wants. I believe that. If I were them, that's what I would do. I would, because you don't want to look weak publicly to your own people, because then you're going to look like an asshole and they might overrun you and kill you. But at the same time, you don't want to look like you're too strong to your enemy. Otherwise, you might end up in a jail cell in New York. So you've got to just play both sides here. Yeah, I believe, but show the proof. You think they're gonna show the text messages between them and the? What are you thinking, man? What are you thinking? I don't even know what else to say.
Asmongold argues against stuff nobody said. A straw man is making up a fake, easy argument nobody believes and attacking that instead of the real argument. Nobody says Denmark would beat America in war. The real arguments are about rules between countries, promises we made, money problems, and what happens years from now. He makes up fake arguments to avoid real problems. Then he talks about Europe being taken over by third world people. Muslims are 5 or 6% of Europe, but right-wingers act like it's huge. The crazy part is complaining about Muslim religion and government while wanting Christian religion to control our government. Miller says stuff about Maduro being in jail, but doesn't prove it. And when you ask for proof, he says they won't show secret messages. That's conspiracy talk, where not having proof means you're right because they're hiding it.